Look at the keyboard in front of you right now. The top row, QWERTY. Why that order? Not alphabetical, not logical either. Your most used letters are flung to the corners, loaded onto your weakest fingers. Last time, we promised you this. That layout was not designed to speed you up. It was designed to slow you down. But the true story is stranger still than that promise. Milwaukee, the 1860s. Christopher Latham Sholes, journalist, printer, and a restless inventor who could not sit still. One idea consumed him: writing by machine, not by hand. He worked at it for years, and in 1868 he secured his patent, the typewriter. In his first design, the letters sat in a sensible order, almost alphabetical. So what happened next? That shattered the alphabet to pieces. The problem lived in the machine's very heart. Each key was linked to a slender metal bar, tipped with a single letter. These bars sat in a half circle, all striking the very same point on the page, and if two neighboring bars rose one after another, too quickly, clack, they locked together. Any typist who dared to speed up jammed the machine, again and again, minute after minute. Sholes' solution was a stroke of genius. If neighboring bars kept colliding, then pull apart, inside the machine, the letters that most often sit side by side in the language, T and H, S and T. What looked like chaos scattered across the page was, in truth, a finely calculated anti-collision system. And by 1873, that now famous order was born. QWERTY. So what about that line? Designed to slow you down. Here is the nuance. The goal was never to slow your fingers. It was to stop the bars from colliding. But the method was to deliberately scatter the letters apart. The result? A layout that never jams, but sends your fingers on a marathon across the board. So yes, QWERTY exists not for efficiency, but to paper over a mechanical flaw. Sholes had the machine, but not the money. His partners carried the invention to a giant of guns and sewing machines, Remington. The deal was signed in 1873. A year later, the first mass-produced typewriter went on sale, painted with flowers, mounted on a sewing machine treadle, and on its keys, QWERTY. No one noticed it that day, but a standard was being born. Salesmen, they say, had a clever trick of their own. Look at the machine's top row, TYPEWRITER. Yes, every single letter of the word typewriter, sitting in that one row. In front of the customer, a salesman could rattle off the brand name in seconds flat and make the machine look like magic. An inefficient layout had become a brilliant piece of showmanship. Then, in 1888, came a duel that sealed everything. A speed contest in Cincinnati. On one side, a veteran typist glancing down at his own keys as he worked. On the other, Frank McGurran, who had memorized QWERTY and typed with all 10 fingers, eyes never leaving the page. McGurran crushed him. The newspapers wrote it up, and everyone reached the same conclusion. QWERTY must be the fastest layout there is. But it was never the keyboard that won. It was the method. What followed was an avalanche. Typists learned QWERTY. Companies bought QWERTY machines because that is what their QWERTY-trained typists could use. Schools taught QWERTY so their students could find work. Every new user drove the standard a little deeper into the concrete. Economists call this path dependence. Once a road is laid down, people keep walking it, even when a better road exists. There were attempts to change it, of course. In 1936, Professor August Dvorak, after years of research, designed a layout entirely from scratch. The most common letters sat on the home row, the shortest possible path for the fingers. In testing, it was faster, less tiring, clearly superior on paper. So did it tear out the world's keyboards and replace them? No. Because millions of people had already grown up on QWERTY, the cost of relearning looked far greater than the speed to be gained. Remember, the French could not make a 10-day week stick, and the Soviets could not make a 5-day week stick either. Dvorak ran into the very same wall. Habit, the bad but established beat, the good but new. The triumph of inefficiency. That precisely is what this is. If you type a comment under this video right now, your fingers will be dancing across a map drawn 150 years ago to keep metal bars from colliding. The jamming bars are long gone, but the map remains. And there is one more thing you touch just as often as your keyboard, so ordinary you never once wondered where it came from. What did people use before toilet paper? Some of the answers might turn your stomach. That story is next. Don't forget to subscribe. This is Everyday History, and I'll see you in the next ordinary thing.